So here we are actually halfway done with training. It's definitely getting real. Like training has been stepping up, and there's been some very cool stuff happening. So for example, on the Monday where we usually go through our combinations, we did that, but we also stepped up and worked a lot on how to defend on the cage, either getting up and also using the cage for a proper slam takedown, which was very interesting. And that day particularly, I had a realization of how much more strength I had. With like this 10 weeks does show the transformation that happened within my body and also within my ability of what I'm able to do, which was awesome. Like CrossFit, we did a lot of rowing this week, so both of our workouts, both Tuesday and Thursday, consisted with rowing, and those were harder than I thought, which was very interesting because I thought I had my fitness pretty good, but those ones were really like a full body workout, which was surprising, but it was really cool to know. Wrestling, absolutely amazing. And on the Friday was a massive session because not only we did more hardcore wrestling, like almost like complete live wrestling, in a sense that we could punch on the ground and get a feel for it. We didn't do the stand-up kickboxing. We could only do takedowns from standing up, and then once we're on the ground we do some punches. That was really eye-opening to see, okay, what are we good at, what do we need to work on. And a lot of the guys were huffing and puffing, but I had a very cool realization that because I've been really good with my nutrition and my supplementation, I was able to jump up and just bounce around and say, okay, ready, I'm ready for the next one, I'm ready to go. And my recovery was far better than I actually expected, which was really cool. And I can only put it down to nutrition and supplementation. So that is key, especially when you're doing physical sports, but also just being an athlete. So that has been very interesting. Also, one of the cool stuff for this week that I found out who I am fighting as well. So that was fun because the shit talking has started a bit on the day. So we'll see how we go. And we are literally halfway through our training camp. So it's not 22 weeks as I thought, it's 20 weeks. So my fight is actually on the 29th of June and here in Brisbane, and that's 10 weeks away pretty much. So I'm at the 50% point, which is kind of cool, and I feel like it could be scary, but I'm not necessarily scared, and I'll talk about that in a second why that is. And I wanted to make sure that mentally I am prepared for this. So I do a lot of visualization. Okay, how do I actually want to feel before the fight? How do I want to feel during preparation? When do I want my adrenaline to kick in? And all these sort of stuff that I feel like are very important for you mentally, because getting ready physically is absolutely awesome, but if you psych yourself out mentally, you're not going to be in the best fighting position that you can be. So I have a certain type of visualization process, and I haven't kind of perfected it yet properly, but I'm definitely working on where do I need to be in certain spots. So I'm just kind of keeping myself on top of that for sure. Now also on the Friday I did something extra, because not only did I stay for my usual 2 hours, I also just recently met a friend who's a very good boxing coach. So after that I went to the other side of the city and did like a good hour of boxing, which was fascinating to watch, because I always thought, I need to work on my hands, but as she was actually getting me to do some combinations, and as we were in the ring and doing some power work, I'm like, actually I'm getting it. I'm able to pick up really well because I put in a lot of time, energy with not just in Wimp to worry, but even before that in my ability to learn things and pick up things, and physically between my body and mind, how I'm able to connect things and process things. I put in a lot of time and energy and effort to be more efficient in those things. So when she was saying, okay, jab, cross, cover, and cross again, it wasn't that hard to pick up. There was a couple of times where I maybe slowed down or wasn't able to get a certain movement, but I was still able to move, and I realized I still have a lot of power and a lot of technique and a lot of strength within my punches as well. It's just more the fact that, okay, I need to make sure that I know when to activate that power, and when I'm okay to relax. Because if I'm always holding on to the tension, which I've done in the past as well, I'm gonna get gassed too quickly. So that was a 3-hour day on the Friday, which was incredibly awesome. But I definitely felt it on the Saturday and Sunday. Now again, being Easter this weekend, we did kind of like indulge in all the goodies over the weekend, so I felt it in the training I did afterwards, and I was kind of wake up call, okay, I need to work on that, but that's okay. That's fine. I can fix that. Again, if you have one blowout, it's not the end of the world. And again, I still got 10 weeks to kind of prepare myself for it. So the other thing as well, I know what weight I need to be fighting at. I need to be fighting at lightweight, which is about 70 kilos. It's, I think, 155 pounds for all my American friends, from memory. But I do need to lose weight for that. So I was talking to some of the coaches and also was researching about weight cutting, and weight cutting is quite ugly, to be very frank with you. It's like to put your body through that, and some people can just not just affect your performance, but like negatively affect your health if you do it in a dumb way. I want to make sure that I'm kind of pushing myself closer to the fight weight, so I don't really have to stress about the weight cutting aspect of it too much. So as I was driving home on Friday, I had a really big realization. My words and my beliefs are one of the biggest impacts on my results. Let me tell you why. So I kept saying I'm 75 and I'm having trouble, I'm just eating too much for what I need. And that I kept saying that, and on my drive home, I just switched it. Something in me just clicked over. I started saying, I'm 72 kilos ripped and strong. I'm 72 kilos ripped and strong. And that day, that morning on the Friday, I was 75.3. But on the Saturday morning, I was 73.8 from memory. So because of that one belief change, one affirmation change. So every time I want to go and eat something, I just start saying that. And that's like a double check. Like, okay, do I really need this food right now? Or is this just a habit or craving that I need to get over it? Because ultimately your words create your life. Because you don't have control over many things, but a couple things you do have control over is what you say to yourself. And having good belief systems will help you actually get the results that you actually want to get. So I've been saying I'm 72 ripped and strong. I'm 72 kilos ripped and strong. Because I don't just want to go 72 kilos and feel weak and lethargic. I want to feel I am in a very good fighting weight. I want to be in a very good fighting position. So that was a very cool realization, that how much my words actually impacted not just my choices of what I put into my body, but how I view things, and also ultimately my results, in this case my weight. So if you are trying to achieve something and for example you're getting stuck, check what you're saying about that topic. If it's your weight, maybe if it's your fitness, maybe honestly even finances, relationships, and any area of life. If you are getting results that you're not really liking, just check what are you actually saying to yourself. Because the idea is not to judge yourself. I've been saying this, how horrible I am. No. It's just how can we shift it to something more powerful. And that worked for me, but here's another tip I can tell you, is instead of sometimes switching, because like completely switching like that worked for me, but sometimes in certain cases you just feel like I can't do it. Now I can tell you a secret, if you just say a lie long enough, it will become your truth. And even if it's a positive lie, for example, if you, let's say 95 kilos and you need to be at 85, if you start saying I'm 85 kilos ripped and strong, I'm 85 kilos ripped and strong, and I love eating healthy greens all day, after a while that's going to become your reality. The problem is most people, for them, it's so far of the truth, of their current truth, they not stop saying it and they don't get the results. So instead of that, here's a very unique little elegant tweak or life hack you can use for when it comes to affirmations. Instead of saying I am completely 180 to what I am right now, you can say I used to be overweight, not being able to handle my money, not being able to train consistently, but now I'm open to where I can be disciplined in the areas that are important to me, or now I'm open to be disciplined in my eating patterns, in my workout regimes, or whatever is actually important to you, whatever you want to work with. So here's the basic template. I used to be old behavior, but now I'm open to new behavior. And that in itself is a small tweak from what you are currently doing, and it's much easier for your brain to accept. And if you say it long enough, from there you're easy to actually transition into something like I am this statement. Because they are fantastic, the I am statements, but they don't work for every situation, for every people, in every circumstance. So that is a cool, unique trick that you can take home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Love you guys lots. Thank you so much for the support so far. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. And another 10 weeks to come. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.